We'll go ahead and call the Tuesday, September 3rd meeting to order. If I could ask you to rise for our invocation and our pledge. We'll be led by our city and city attorney, Mr. Brad Huffman.
Our Heavenly Father, we come before you to ask your divine guidance and help in our deliberations this evening. Bless the members of this council and the citizens that are present at this meeting. We pray that our work this evening will find favor in your sight. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And once again, our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask, is not able to be here, and we have Brandon Huffman from his office helping us out tonight. Thank you for coming. Our first item is our citizens open forum, where you're allowed to address the council. Just have a couple of rules. State your name and address for the record. Also, do not speak towards anything on the agenda for tonight, and keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes. Do we have anybody that would like to address the council? Jerry? You? Anything? Nope. Seeing no one, we'll close the citizens open forum. Our first item is the Community Redevelopment Agency, and the only item on there is to schedule the work session for our Market Square. You had a date in mind?
Yeah, the two suggested dates are Monday, October 7th or Tuesday, October 8th at 4 p.m. Be here in the council work session room.
I like Tuesday better, just because I'm used to stuff on Tuesdays, but.
I have a more legitimate reason for Monday, just because Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays now I'm on site at Tech Data.
Okay.
Mondays I work from home, so it's easier for me.
Monday's fine.
Does that work for Jerry?
Does that work for you?
Yeah, whenever y'all want it.
Okay, Monday,
So,
7th?
Monday, October 7th, 4 p.m. That's a work session room.
That's good for everybody. Next item is the consent docket. There are 5 items on there. Approve the minutes of the July 2nd, 2013 council meeting. Approve the minutes of the July 16th, 2013 council meeting. Approve a contract extension with Southern Analytical Labs for utilities. Award a bid for concrete work at Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve Environmental Education Center, and award a bid for headworks repair at the Water Reclamation Facility. Does anybody wish to pull anything?
No.
Gary? Good? Nope. Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item is the City of Oldsmar presentation of the business of the quarter, and that is you. And I should note that Linda and Janice are not here. Neither of them are feeling well tonight, so.
Good evening. So tonight I will be presenting the Business of the Quarter Award, and if Pamela, would you come up here and join me? Pamela is the owner of Lightshine Media Group, and here you can come up here so that the cameras can see you. So this is for you, and I'm just going to talk a little bit. Pamela and I have actually never met in person, so it's nice to meet you. Pamela and I have talked on the phone when I was campaigning for this seat, and we immediately hit it off because we both care about health and wellness of the community and the citizens, and of course children. And just to kind of give you a quick example of the type of person that Pamela is, I do have a little speech here prepared as well, but Pamela is a huge advocate for the community and for children, and one of the examples is when Pinellas County School Board was threatening to reduce the amount of physical education in our children's school week. They were going to either remove PE or reduce the number of hours of PE in a day. She went to bat for the students and the kids because she understands the importance of exercise and physical education in our children's lives, and that a lot of children, that's the only exercise they get in a day. So it's very important, just as important as the academic part. She attended the school board meetings to make sure that parents' voices were heard. She created a Facebook page to kind of gather input from parents and make sure that they were aware and they were sending letters and attending the meetings. And that's just the type of person that she is. She's a resident here of this city. She has a business, a magazine that I'm going to speak about as well that, she provides to our council members. It's at local grocery stores, and I'll let her explain to some of the places so that if any of you aren't subscribers or would like to pick up the magazine, I'll let her tell you where you can find it. So Pamela Settle is the owner of Lightshine Media Group. a media company that was founded in 2010 in Oldsmar, Florida. The primary purpose of the company is to publish Good Living Magazine, a Pinellas County family-friendly magazine that focuses on the good, the positive, and the important. Editorial features include good news, good people, good companies, good events, good parenting, and good eating. This roundup of good stuff from Pinellas County is combined with important articles on living a healthier lifestyle and being an informed and involved member of the community for readers of all ages. The magazine draws attention to issues that impact our community, while at the same time offering readers opportunities to get involved to be part of the solution. As publisher and owner of the magazine, Mrs. Settle is an active member of the community herself, which is a demonstration of her belief that we must all lead by example. She advocates for young children as co-chair for the Children's Movement of Florida for Pinellas and Hillsborough. She also advocates for parents as a member of the steering committee for Parents for Pinellas Students. Additionally, she serves on the Pinellas County Advisory Committee for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and is active with Live Free, an organization that works to reduce drug usage among teens. The magazine also sponsors numerous causes and events by providing free advertising. In combination with the magazine, the company also produces the Healthy Happy Family Expo and other events that link parents with important services in the community. Together, all the activities accumulate to fulfill her goal of becoming the change I want to see in the world, and that is a great quote. Before starting her own company, Pamela spent more than 20 years in marketing, public relations, advocacy, and nonprofit management. Most recently, she served as Vice President of Marketing for United Way of Tampa Bay and Marketing Manager for Pinellas County Government, where she earned the Governor's Award for Know Your Zone Hurricane Preparedness Program and Pinellas County's official hurricane guide. She has a degree in journalism from San Diego State University. She's married to a local high school teacher and has a 7-year-old son and proudly combines her work with motherhood, making her part of the rising mompreneur movement. So I just want to say it's an honor to give you this award, and if Chris and Jackson would like to come up, and that way we can take a photo, and if you have anything that you'd like to add.
Well, I want to thank you very much for this honor. It's not often that people who publish magazines get recognized for what they do in the community, but we are a hybrid. What we do has purpose and meaning, and we bring all of those good things to celebrate what's good about Pinellas County, our cities, our citizens, and to bring those important issues out there, because we do have issues with nutrition and drugs, hopelessness, poor achievement in school, and we can bring that out in a very friendly way to get moms interested in what's going on in our community, and that's our main purpose. The magazines are distributed through schools and through health food stores and libraries and community centers. They're out all over Pinellas County, and our website is goodlivingmagazine.com. Anybody can go there and read it online, and we welcome anybody to share their good news. We love to tell what's happening with the real people in Pinellas County.
I'm sure Debbie would like to take a photo.
Gabby, you need to get up there with them.
I will. They probably want a little family photo too without me in it.
They need to know.
Congratulations, that's great. I remember when your first magazine came out, that was great. It's a good read, too.
Well, and as luck would have it, I have some with me too.
What a shock.
I know.
Very good. Congratulations again. Our next presentation is the Gold Star Mothers and Families Day. Tony Gross could not be here, so of course she sent her pinch hitter, Johnny Ruckert. Come on up. Fill us in.
My name is Johnny Ruckert. I live at 203 Shore Drive East in Oldsmar. As most of you probably know, I have been fundraising for my Eagle Project to place a fallen soldiers memorial statue in Veterans Park. I am happy to report that I have collected all the funds that I need to complete for this project. I will begin work this weekend and plan to have it completed by the end of this month, when it will be presented to Gold Star Mothers and Families of Florida. I would like to invite you, the mayor, and the council members to the ceremony to be held on September 29th at 1 p.m. at Veterans Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
That's great.
That's great,
Awesome.
yeah.
Congratulations. And we'll make sure that we get that information out there so that a lot of people can attend September 29th at 1 o'clock. Our next item is the presentation by Pinellas Education Foundation, Take Stock in Children. County Commissioner Karen Seal is here. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a pleasure to be here, and this is the first time I've been in your new chambers.
Yeah.
And had to go searching for it a little bit, and thankfully Eric did too, so we were able to find it.
I was banging on the door across the street.
It's always so nice to come to Oldsmar, and you all have certainly done so much for your city, and I think, Bruce, you'll be happy to know that we're going to probably do 0.5 mils for the Pinellas County Cooperative.
Heard.
So just a little sidebar note, unofficial business. And welcome to your newest council member too. I was glad to see that you are in office.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you're in the learning curve, but I bet you caught on quickly.
And I actually think I was present the last time you were at the old council when you presented on the historic program for homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about
Yeah.
6 or 7 years ago. Yeah.
That was some years ago.
I remember seeing you there, so
Oh, great.
thank you.
Great.
Karen, next time you come here, we'll have a big sign out here, Oldsmar Council Chambers. Well, that's fine.
It's on the agenda for
We're
tonight.
voting on it tonight.
What a
We know
beautiful
now.
reuse of the
Beautiful.
building,
Beautiful.
and you must be really proud of not just this project, but also everything you've done in the city. I had the opportunity to meet with Doug about, oh gosh, as time goes, probably about 4 months ago, and I wanted to talk to him about the Take Stock in Children program. One of the reasons I've gotten so involved with this is because our future of Pinellas County, from economic development standpoint, from prosperity in every ways, from jobs to everything else, really comes down to a good education system and a pathway for our students to obtain the right education for them. And as a result, I have been serving on the Pinellas County Education Foundation, but I truly found my passion in this Take Stock in Children. As you know, St. Petersburg has been doing a Mayor's Mentors and More program where they match up businesses and they match up mentors, and they also heavily promote Doorway Scholarships or Take Stock in Children Scholarship program and raising money within the city to be able to support that. We've decided that we were going to take this countywide and ask the cities and the county to also participate, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Eric is the former chair of the Take Stock in Children committee, and he has been coming with me or preceding me in many cases, volunteering his time in this regard. So I'll turn it over to Eric with only one comment. Since the inception of the Take Stock in Children program, and it actually started in Pinellas County, we are by far the most successful county in the state of Florida. It takes 4 other counties combined to match the scholarship levels that we do here in Pinellas County. But that's still not enough. And currently we have, between the current scholarships and the past scholarships that we've done, the Education Foundation in the state of Florida and the donors have given $30 million in scholarships.
Oh.
And that is really quite impressive.
How many years is this?
It's the early 90s.
Since the early 90s.
Very nice.
And so anyway,
So,
Eric?
thank you, Karen. And I would add, interestingly, that the Take Stock in Children program that Mayor Baker started in St. Petersburg was recently, I think it was within the past year, recognized by General Colin Powell as the #1 community-based program in the United States for the towards achieving the goal of increasing the graduation rate.
Wow.
So the city of St. Pete is #1, and General Colin Powell, who's involved with this nationwide program, really has done a lot of work to recognize that fact, and it's really quite an achievement that they've done in St. Pete. As such, we're very interested in rolling this out countywide. We've had tremendous success there. Why not let's replicate it across the county so that our kids in this county that fall below the poverty line can share in the success that this great nation offers. On that note, as Karen mentioned, we've already gone and seen and spoken with all 24 communities in the county outside of St. Pete. Most of them have agreed to participate in this thing that I'm going to talk about. Now, just to give you some sense of what we're talking about, we have about 105,000 kids in the Pinellas County public school system. Roughly 40,000 of them fall below the poverty line. So there's a tremendous number of kids out there that come from families that don't have the means to extend their education beyond K-12. Luckily, in Pinellas County, we have the Take Stock in Children Scholarship Program, which gives a 2 or 4-year scholarship to these kids that are motivated, that are bright, that are otherwise going to be able to be successful. It gives them the monetary ability to actually go and realize that dream of getting a post-secondary education. Okay, so what we're doing is we're asking the communities to sanction the ability for the employees of the municipality to, on a voluntary basis, participate in this mentoring program. And it involves, at the most, half an hour a week with the kid. These are kids, again, that are at risk. They sometimes don't have a good role model. And the number one success factor for these kids in the scholarship program is a mentor. It's not about money. It's not about, a document or a certificate or anything like that. It's about a caring adult in their life who can see them regularly, care about what they're going through, listen to them, and maybe give them some advice. Okay, that's really at its core what a mentor is. It's not rocket science. It's being a caring, compassionate adult that's willing to spend time with a child as long as from the 6th through the 12th grade, because we start them off in the 6th grade. Okay. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, just wanted to give you a little background about what the foundation does. I don't have my glasses on and I can't see that too well, but the foundation has been in the county since the late 80s, early 90s. Many of your kids in the community, if not all, 5th graders and 8th graders have gone through Enterprise Village and Finance Park, respectively, down at the Stavros Center on Starkey Road in Largo. So most people are familiar with that. The biggest, in terms of dollar terms of monies raised at the foundation, is with the Take Stock in Children scholarships, though. So that's the biggest program from a money standpoint that we're involved in. We've also got, there's a great show that occurs in the spring every year, Walker's Rising Stars, which allows artists of all types to showcase their skills at Ruth Eckerd Hall and win scholarships there. There's all sorts of different programs to raise money for teachers in the public school system to fund programs or science projects or what have you that they need extra money to do for the kids in the school. So you can see that there's just a number of different other things that really have helped classroom grants, scholarships, supplemental programs at the foundation, Enterprise Village Finance Park. There's a lot of things that the foundation has done. So again, we met with Mayor Beavis back in, I think it was probably around May, I think, or so of last year. We had lunch in Clearwater one day, Karen Seelen and I and Mr. Mayor, and so he graciously asked us to come here and speak about this. So basically, it's to add a page in the employee, I guess, manual that the city employees would have here in Oldsmar, that would, again, give them the opportunity to spend up to an hour, so it would be transportation to and from the local middle or high school, and then half an hour with the kids, up to an hour a week. And from a practical standpoint, it doesn't have to be every single week. I mean, when I worked and I mentored for 8.5 years, I was traveling internationally, I was in California a lot. You don't have to be there every single week, you just need to be there on there has to be some kind of continuity, that you're going to have with the kid. And that's really what it boils down to. And then once that happens, we are there to help you, organize that if you wish, to explain what mentoring is. If you need our help to do that, we can do that. There's also training that's provided. The foundation staff has people that train on mentoring. It's about, I think it's somewhere around 1 to 2 hour curriculum, which just answers all the questions that anybody could possibly have about what is mentoring about, how much time commitment is it, what does it involve? What do I do when I get to the school? Where do I see the kid? What happens? All that stuff. And, what do you say to the child? I've never spoken to a middle school kid. What do you say? And it just kind of allays any kind of fears that people may have about that. So that training is available. We can have people come to Oldsmar if needed to conduct the training to minimize the impact there as well. So we have training, any kind of guidance. I have some literature here which I can give you to put up on the bulletin boards. I have some magnets as well. And I forgot to give each of you a summary.
I'll be your
No, that's a summary of the kids in Oldsmar that are in the scholarship program today in K-12, and then also a number of the kids that are that have graduated from high school and that are out in college or university or some other post-secondary educational setting that have received these scholarships that live in Oldsmar. And I haven't looked at the numbers, but there's a substantial number of kids, I think, that have gone through that. And that's, I think, for the most part, what I wanted to cover. I don't know if you need to make a motion or... I think in closing, what I'd like to just give a quote. One of my favorite quotes from Forrest Whitcraft is, 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I lived in, or the kind of car I drove, but the world may be different because I was important in the life of a child. And I think that kind of sums up what this is about, is we all have these hectic lives. We're working. We're stretched. We're short-handed. And we just never take time to turn. And then you look in the mirror and your hair is gray, your hair is falling out, and kind of you've just been running on a treadmill. And I think sometimes it means a lot to the people that mentor, as well as obviously the kids, to take some time out and to help some of these kids that really kind of need the help. And it makes a huge difference. The mentoring is the key for these kids to be a success. So.
Enterprise Village was something that was part of that.
Yes.
What a great program.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I remember, granted, I'm the youngest on the council, but it was still a long time ago that I was in Enterprise Village, and I
Right.
remember,
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of my fondest memories, I think,
Yeah.
from being in elementary school.
Every single fifth grader in the county during the course of the school year goes to Enterprise Village.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was,
They have all sorts of adults that go and chaperone and help out with that. And then every single eighth grader goes to Finance Park. What a great thing. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't teach kids about budgeting, about balancing a checkbook, about making difficult decisions, about, going through a simulation where you make X dollars and, you have to spend up to X. You can't, overspend. And then you need to think about saving. And what is saving? What does that mean? What's investing? What's a stock? What's a mutual fund? So they learn about that at Finance Park. So
it's funny because my role, I remember I was a teller at Barnett Bank when there was still Barnett Bank, but not that many years later, going through college, I was actually a teller at Bank of America, who ended up taking over Barnett Bank.
yeah.
It was kind of funny.
Right.
It was like,
You had experience.
I had experience. I put it on my resume, Enterprise Village.
right.
The sad part is I think you went to the Enterprise Village with my daughter.
But so it says how we partner by allowing city employees to mentor and tutor at the local schools.
Yep.
I'm just curious, what's our next step?
It's something that the city would have to adopt to put in the employee handbook.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there would be a drive. I mean, I can show up and I can do a 5-minute dog and pony show at, for example, Mr. Haddock, if you have a senior staff meeting, actually on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be in Mr. Bill Horn's office in Clearwater at his senior staff meeting to sit, because I talked to Mr. Horn on the phone and I said, how do we best get the word out? There's many, many employees in Clearwater, okay? How do we best do that? And we sort of tossed around the idea of having me go in there and speak to his staff. I mean, how better to do it than talk to the people that report to Bill Horn in Clearwater so that they get the word out and that they can then lead the effort, amongst their departments. Because it takes leadership.
We did this in the early 90s, because I know that Bruce and I mentored for about 7 or 8 years until I lost my oldest son, and I kind of just went to pot for a while. But we did that here.
Yeah, we have allowed employees to do this
Yeah.
for probably 20 years. It's been restricted to the schools within Oldsmar.
Yep.
And I'm not sure at the current time we have any participants.
We haven't been active as we were back in the early 90s.
Right.
Yeah, that really the only question probably is if the council, well, I don't know that they have to do anything. Really, I
But
mean,
the mentoring you've been doing has been under the foundation, this foundation?
well,
Or are you just saying that we allow mentoring as part of the, and this would just fall under the, could potentially fall under?
Well,
the
Yeah,
biggest-
so how it looks is that there's community involvement coordinators at the
The employee
schools.
gets connected through the school.
That's right. At each school, I'm not sure what the title is, because, the titles change. Somebody new comes in, oh, we got to change the name of this person. But the community involvement coordinators that work at the middle or high schools are the contact people that know every single kid that's in their school who's in the Take Stock in Children program. And they know who's being mentored and who's not. And some of them aren't. And sometimes there's doubling down where there's 2 kids per mentor, or there's a teacher who's doing it. It's not ideal. So they've got all they know for the schools that serve Oldsmar, which is all we're really asking for the Oldsmar people to get involved with. They know at those schools what's going on. They can reach out to you and say, I've got 5 openings, at the high school or whatever.
We would have to
Yeah,
open it
just-
to other schools.
This
right?
isn't an issue that y'all have to respond to, but in reality, you cannot get to Carwise Elementary
Yeah.
or Eastlake High School, spend half an hour, and get back in an hour. Potentially, employees could go to Safety Harbor Middle School or to Countryside High School.
Right.
But like I said, that's not something y'all have to respond to.
Right.
The practical reality is
Yeah.
you can't do it in an hour.
Yeah, I had a discussion with, and that's the thing, is the logistics
The
of.
traffic and
getting
the
there.
distances involved, yeah.
The county just revised our policy. Not that I'm suggesting it, but we went to an hour and a half so that we could allow for the travel time and allow for a full hour of mentoring with a student, or up to, close to an hour. So I just appreciate y'all taking a look at it. The other thing that I would ask as the mayor and as council members, if you're out speaking to the Rotary, Kiwanis, or any group, just put a tagline in there about Take Stock in Children and urge them to think about being mentors or getting involved. Because I think the more we can spread the word about the success of this program, I think it would be terrific.
And if we wanted to promote it, we could contact you, Mr. Zimmer, I
Yes.
guess, and
Or me.
Absolutely.
I'm now the co-chair of that committee.
She's the big cheese now on the committee, not me anymore. So by all means, no. But the other thing too, just to keep it in perspective, we don't start the adults don't go into mentor until October. Okay, because I don't want the distraction. They need to get all the schedules sorted and settled through September, and then in October they bring the mentors in. You've got lots of breaks. You've got Thanksgiving break. You've got Christmas break. Various holidays along the way, and then you're pretty much not mentoring anymore. Really late April, essentially, maybe early May at the latest, and then they're getting ready and they want them to focus on finals and everything. So really, it's like, I'll call it half the year in essence of a commitment. And like I said, I would average going in there maybe twice a month on average. I wasn't there every single week because I couldn't. I was across the country.
But we did it
So
every
it's-
week. We did it every week.
But it's right here in your backyard too, that was the
Yeah,
total.
right back up.
And it's low-hanging fruit. It's a cheap, there's no big money involved, and it's a big bang for the buck.
Is this the primary focus on this, is just mentoring, and the scholarships come
Yes, that's right.
somewhere else?
It depends on how far you as a city want to take it. The city of St. Petersburg allows payroll deduction for funding the scholarships, and the scholarships are only available to the city of St. Petersburg residents. They also have a golf tournament, and they also do a couple of other events. The mayor had a musical event which was raising money for the scholarships. But we simply just wanted to start somewhere,
Well,
and mentoring seems to be a good place to
Your
start.
main focus is mentoring, right?
And Eric, you may have touched on this. We were kind of having some technical issues up here, but I think what we're saying, or you said, or maybe when we met, is that there's a pool of scholarship money, and they have found that the most successful way to obtain that is through mentoring. It really sets them up to be prepared and, qualify for scholarships or whatever it is through the mentoring.
I was a bit negligent in not stating that the kids are required to stay trouble-free, crime-free, not have attendance problems, and keep their grades at a C level or better, okay? So they have to hold up their end of the bargain. Now, unfortunately, over the years, I've been involved since year 2000, we've had to kick out, I'll call it, hundreds of kids, unfortunately, out of the program that didn't comply. They got into trouble, they got into fights, they were suspended, they had bad grades, they had Fs, whatever, they didn't go to school, whatever the case may be, and we had to take them out because there's too many other kids on the outside wanting to try to get back in. So we hold them accountable. But the kids that will be mentored, that for the schools that serve Oldsmar, those scholarships are done and paid for. These kids are all set up. It's not about money. Now, if sometime down the road, if you also want to allow payroll deduction for Oldsmar city employees, the foundation's not gonna, not gonna
Really?
disagree with that. That's gonna be okay.
You sure about
but
that?
But really, all we're looking at now is really the mentoring.
Yeah.
thing, so.
I think that's something that maybe individually we can discuss with Bruce and see, and we just got to figure out logistically, I guess, is that a problem if we mentored it? Because our employees may actually have kids at Countryside and Safety Harbor Middle. And
It's strictly your policy of where you want to mentor. I mean, we're just asking that the city of Oldsmar join us in this program.
At a middle school and a high school.
yeah,
A school and a high
it
school.
starts at 6th grade. Yeah.
And I have this, and I think Mr. Beavis, Mayor Beavis, I think I may have given you this when we met in
Yep.
May, but I'll give this to you again. This is a draft or a sample of the wording that was used in St. Pete.
Okay.
That they are completely fine with anybody else in the county using, that they use in their manual. And then lastly, I'd like to give you this, which is a plaque, thanking you for your support.
Oh, well, thank you. No, thank you.
In anticipation.
Now you have to follow through.
No, I mean, I think, and I talked to Bruce about it, and I think, mentoring is huge these days. And it, it's kind of good you say that, Eric, that, they do hold them to the standards because, I mean, I think sometimes we see so many organizations or schools or, we even hear of some colleges that are making excuses or kind of dodging around the rules to allow people to continue in these things. Or, we try and be the good system and award everybody and acknowledge everybody regardless of whether they're doing good,
There's
bad,
no
or
accountability
indifferent. There's no
in essence,
accountability. And, if people like our city staff and yourself and everybody involved are putting the effort forward, it is nice to see that, fine, if you don't want it, we'll offer it to, somebody else. So
Absolutely, a very, very high standard for getting in. The tax returns are reviewed to make sure that the parents are honest and open about, their income levels and everything. So we're very strict about getting in. And then once they're in, we're regularly, like several times a year, we're looking through grades, we're looking through performance reports. There's a whole lot of overhead involved in making sure the kids stay on top of their responsibilities.
And they're required to write thank you notes at least twice a year to their mentor.
The city of Oldsmar has not been a stranger to.
That's right.
To.
Former mayor for many, many terms, I believe.
Yeah, too many to. But we haven't been strangers to scholarships.
yeah.
In fact, this is the last year that scholarships were given out in my granddaughter's name for veterinarian school, and that's been going on since '96. But this is the last year that we have given a scholarship. But the Chamber of Commerce gives, I think Jerry, is it $2,000?
Yeah,
We give scholarships every year.
I wanted to get up anyhow and talk about something related but not tied, but I think it'd be interesting. The Chamber of Commerce is Councilman Beaverland said, several years ago, he had a benefactor from the community came and offered to put up some money if we formed a 501c3 to do that and match it. So we do have that money, and we deal with East Lake High School and three high schools in Hillsborough, Sickles, Alonzo, and Lato, plus a variety of middle schools and elementary schools. But yeah, I think we give out, 4 scholarships annually at the $2,000 level.
That's something I
So-
spearheaded many, many years ago.
Yeah, so we have an endowment. fund.
One of the big advantages, too, of the Take Stock in Children Scholarship is a statewide program. By the way, it started here in Pinellas County, okay? And as Karen mentioned, it takes 3 other counties to get to where we are as a county, and other counties outside of Pinellas. The beauty of it is that, say we raise $6,000 here, the state matches that dollar for dollar. Okay, so there's a lot of leverage involved in.
Maybe
in the
Karen
program.
will want to talk to Jerry, and maybe they can marry.
Yeah, I want to, I'll go ahead and inform the
marry
council.
these.
I just want to can we make sure that they're done before, I mean, unless it dovetails on.
Is there anything else you think that we need to cover?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much for
You
having
guys.
us.
I just want to inform the council, and I think Bruce may know, and probably Mayor Beavis may know, but we also have a manufacturers association, and that's, we're one of the only chambers, I think one of the only chambers in the county have a manufacturers association. And we're working with the Manufacturers Association of Florida on a program called Dream It, Do It. And the purpose of that is to put manufacturers as mentors in a high school system. If we get that going, we'd like to go down to maybe go down to the middle school system. But we're working right now, I'm working with Pasco, Hillsborough, and Pinellas County school districts, as well as some school board members. And finally, we're into a couple principals. We've been up to East Lake High School, Countryside High School, Clearwater, and there's an assistant principal at East Lake who's doing a sabbatical for the first semester down at Northeast High School. And what they've done there is they've identified, coming out of the freshman year, the 50 highest at-risk students for dropping out in Northeast High School. So what he wants us to do is work with manufacturers to see if we can get mentors, because not everybody's going to go to college, but everybody needs an education that they need to apply to things. So what we're trying to do is look at a program to provide manufacturers as mentors into these schools, and perhaps build internships as well as some scholarships. We do have a couple, at least one manufacturer who is interested in funding an individual scholarship for a STEM person would go into that. So, so that's stuff that we need to.
Yeah, and I think Karen and Eric, we had this conversation that, I mean, if we do in fact implement this, it kind of already is, but to go with this program, that we certainly can probably reach out to other businesses within the Oldsmar community. I mean, we don't want to run before we walk, but that we can reach out to other corporations and
Be insurance or other kinds of things,
Sure.
provide mentorship to do
yeah,
that.
we have a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of them here.
We have Nielsen Leadership that's involved with the foundation, so there's a lot of businesses already involved that we're going to be leveraging, but this is the first step
Yep.
to broaden it out to the county.
We'll be happy to do that.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you.
The other thing, I just turned around and saw Johnny Ruckert. I was at their house yesterday and did see the memorial. It's beautiful.
Is it?
It is awesome. But I looked at it and it had combat
Don't
boots.
give any of the secrets away.
I know, I'm just saying it's awesome. The only secret I'll give away is I looked at the combat boots on that thing, and I told Johnny and his dad, I said, they look like I have my original combat boots that I was issued in 1962 and flew in Vietnam with. So I have combat boots older than you. Okay, but the boots look the same. They haven't changed the boots very much for a long time. But I looked at that. It's a beautiful monument. That's all I'll say.
Good, awesome. Thank you. We look forward to that. Thank you. Thanks for coming, Karen and Eric. We appreciate it. And somebody will be back in touch with you. Next, you ready for this? Is our city attorney. Oh, you got nothing?
Wait, did we skip Phil Elder?
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did skip Phil. Sorry.
You were eager to get to
I was eager to say you got nothing to do tonight, but our next item is appoint Phil Elder to the Firefighters Pension Board. Phil is here tonight. If you'd like to come to the podium, it's something that we do. We started a number of years ago to allow, I don't believe I've ever met you, and we see a lot of people and a lot of faces, but one of the reasons is to thank you for wanting to step forward and be a part of one of the volunteer communities, but it's also for you to ask us questions or us to ask you questions. Jerry may have a couple dozen that he wants to ask.
Yeah, I do. You know what this board's all about?
Well, I have a vague idea that it's about getting into being a part of helping with decisions and planning and hearing what's going on as far as when claims are made and
Well, this is one of the most. This is turning out to be one of the most important boards that the city council has no control over.
okay.
And when you go to this board and you finally learn out what the board's all about, remember you were appointed by the council. And you represent, I don't know how to say this, Bruce. Well, you
We'll
won't,
find out in a second.
you aren't going to help me because Tom would know more. Know what you're voting on.
I understand.
It's,
It is. I got to tell you, in all the years we've had somebody come up, this is the first, I think, that we've had questions.
Yeah, well,
But this is a very, very, very important board. It's, you know.
yes, because you can cost this money, you can cost this city a ton of money if you don't think through. It's fine if you think through it and you think that's the right vote, then vote that way.
Not you personally, collectively as a board, yeah.
No, I'm talking about him personally.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the decisions you're making, yeah.
Should we ask him if he wants to back out now?
No, but
Scare him off.
No, I don't
Oh,
want
I'm glad you did bring that up, because
I
it
don't
is
want to scare you off, but I want you to know what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that. And
you know,
the
coming to
reason
this
I'm
board-
getting involved is because I am concerned about not just a pension fund, but I'm concerned about a lot of things that go on in the community. And I think I've got enough head on my shoulder to make the right decision. And I see, well, just to give you an example, I see, I just met recently with a insurance company that wanted me to sit in on their training for their agents, on their new agents, the young agents. And at the end of this meeting, the director said, well, what do you think we can do to help, what do you think we can best help these agents with? And I said, well, we should have got to them earlier because they really need parented is what they need. That's really from what I saw in the training room. These younger agents needed parenting a lot sooner than they got to them. And so the program that's being talked about just now with the mentoring I think it's a great program. I'm 61 years old. I have a 14-year-old at home. So I learn new things every day.
You do, but let me, now this is not hypothetical. This can happen.
Okay.
On a very, this is important to me, okay? On a very important vote, an extremely important vote, that means a lot to everybody on both sides, and two people don't show up, what will you do? If two of the board doesn't show up, and this is a very important vote, it takes 3 for a quorum, and you got 3.
And 2 of them don't show up.
2 of them don't show up.
You have 5, but 2 don't show up, leaving you 3. Is that your question?
Leaving 2 chairs empty.
And this vote is extremely important. Extremely important.
Okay.
Which you may learn later all about it. But what would you do?
Well,
This is not a trick.
I understand. First of all, I'd find out what I can do, what I'm able to do, but I probably would suggest voting at another time.
Thank you. That's all I want you to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, his point is a real-life question that
Sure.
they only had, basically, this was the one decision that they had to meet, and when it came time for the rubber to meet the road, for whatever reason, 2 of them didn't show up. Could have been a conflict, could have been anything we didn't hear, but
Sure.
It is important, and there may be issues that come before the board that are tough issues, that they have to make decisions on. So that was it.
If nothing else, somebody may want to ask you something, but I'll make a motion that you be appointed.
All right, thank
Go
you.
from there.
I just want to thank you for wanting to be appointed because, as they said, it is a tough board and there are going to be tough decisions that you'll have to make. But we really appreciate you stepping up to do it, and I will second your motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Welcome. Apologize, but it is a very important board, and he made some very good points.
Well,
on
I'm glad you made that clear, but I quite frankly wouldn't want to be a part of anything that's not important.
that. Right.
And I didn't scare you off, did I?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Now, the city attorney.
I have nothing.
Well, and you did that very well, thank you. City manager.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We're up to item 11, approved contract with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for the new fiscal year, which begins on October 1. The contract for the coming year is $1,515,631. It's actually, I believe, about $2,000 less than the current year, and that's due to the reduction in staffing of one school crossing guard. All the other staffing remains the same in terms of the deputies, community policing officers, and the traffic deputies. Also, this evening, Sergeant Larry Nalvin is here, and we can ask Sergeant Nalvin all the difficult questions. But I do recommend approval of the contract with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for fiscal year 2013-14.
And the reason we don't want it to make it sound like the crossing guard only cost $2,000, it was actually going to be a slight increase.
That's correct, yes.
And so it's a net change of $2,000. You can't buy a crossing guard for $2,000.
That's correct.
So. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you for coming tonight. If you'd like to add anything.
I'll just come up here in case there's a question.
A couple of hard questions I want to ask him.
He's on a roll tonight.
We're missing 2 council members, so he's playing the role of 3 tonight.
Y'all are great. I'm glad you're here.
We're glad to be here.
Thank you.
I didn't have anything.
I don't have any of that. If no questions, I just need a motion to approve.
Got it.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item, consider approval of contract extension with Pinellas County for emergency medical services. This is a one-year extension of the existing agreement with Pinellas County to provide advanced life support first responder services from the EMS Authority. We would receive $430,034 in the coming year. That is an increase of about $25,000 from the current year. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. Chief O'Neill is here as well. I recommend approval of this one-year extension to our contract with Pinellas County for EMS services.
So I thought it was great that we're getting more money, but it was it based off budgeting we sent them, or what was the increase for?
Yes, it's
Okay.
related to our cost to provide the service,
Okay.
and most of that's tied to labor costs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Jerry, you have any questions? If not, I need a motion.
Moved.
Need a second?
You got it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item will be a public hearing, and this is a resolution adopting a tentative millage rate for fiscal year 2013 and 14. The proposed millage rate is 4.05 mils, and that's what we submitted to the property appraiser earlier this year and was used in calculating trim notices sent to every taxpayer last month during the month of August. I'll read Resolution 2013-18. This is a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, setting the tentative millage levy for the City of Oldsmar for the year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014. And whereas in accordance with law, the Pinellas County Property Appraiser has certified to the City of Oldsmar a rolled back millage rate of 3.9475 mils, and whereas the proposed millage rate is greater than the rollback rate by 2.6%, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida hereby sets the millage rate for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014 at 4.05 mils. 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption. That's the reading of Resolution 2013-18. I recommend its adoption.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just wanted to point out to everyone, if they weren't aware, but it's the same millage rate as it was for
For the
last
past
5-6 years.
5-6 years, and has been decreased for how long, Bruce, is the last time like 12, 15 years?
Now, the last increase was 1988 or 89.
Yeah, so a long
We had
time.
We've been going
23
backwards. Yeah. And I'll also note that we have had our city manager, mayor city manager breakfast the other day with North County, and I don't know if all of them are, but quite a few of them are definitely having an increase. So kudos
I think
to.
even Dunedin and Safety Harbor, but Dunedin and
Yeah,
Safety
that's
Harbor both
Dunedin
considering
Safety
it,
Harbor. I think Clearwater too as well, correct? I can't
I think
remember.
maybe Clearwater's staying the
They
same.
might, we talked with all of them, but yeah. So anyway, kudos to staff as always. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
You have to take a roll call
Sorry.
vote for a
Oh,
resolution.
we got the public hearing.
Oh, that's right. We are a public hearing. Also, yeah, see there. I was just making sure you're on your toes, Brandon. This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to address this item either for or against the item? It's all staff here, so. Go ahead and close the public hearing. Go ahead and, we have a motion and a second. Could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Beaverland?
Yes.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
Resolution 2013-18, adopting a tentative millage rate for fiscal year 2013-14 is approved with 3 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item will also be a public hearing. This is on Resolution 2013-19, adopting a tentative budget for fiscal year 2013 and 14. The proposed budget was presented to council back in July, and the council conducted a work session on August 22nd. The Florida statutes require separate votes on the millage levy and the budget. Of course, you just adopted the tentative millage rate. There will be a second public hearing on both the millage rate and the budget. That second public hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, September 18th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. I'll read Resolution 2013-19, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, adopting the tentative budget appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida does hereby tentatively establish the appropriations for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014 as follows. See attached Schedule A, pages 1 to 8. General Fund, $14,885,885. Public Safety Impact Fund, $11,000. Parkland Dedication Fund, $50,000. Transportation Impact Fund, $25,000. Community Redevelopment Agency Fund, $761,620. Debt Service, Veterans Memorial Park, $167,340. Capital Improvement Fund, $575,000. Water and Sewer Operating Fund, $7,693,540. Water and Sewer Impact Fund, $156,000. Stormwater Utility Fund, $947,640. Solid Waste Fund, $2,341,120. Total budget appropriations, $27,614,145. 2. All purchase orders for materials and services that remain open at year-end FY 13-14 are to become supplemental appropriations in the respective departmental accounts in the fiscal year ending September 30, 2015 unless canceled. 3. That this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption. That's the reading of Resolution 2013-19. This requires a public hearing. I recommend adoption of the resolution.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to address the council either for or against this resolution? Seeing no one, will close the public hearing. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Beaverland?
Yes.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
Resolution 2013-19, adopting a tentative budget for fiscal year 2013-2014 is passed with 3 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. Mayor and council, item 15. Consider adoption of Resolution 2013-20, revising commercial rates for solid waste collection. We've discussed this issue a couple of times, I guess most recently at the budget work session. This would impact customers, commercial customers only, does not impact residential customers. The proposal increases the rate for dumpster or container service 25 cents a cubic yard from $5.85 to $6.10 per cubic yard. And it also establishes a rate for commercial customers who choose to have recycling services and the utilization of carts. The fee for that would be $2.35 a month per cart, that's for once a week pickup. We have included in the packet commercial rates for other Pinellas County municipalities. I'll go ahead and read the resolution by title only. This is resolution number 2013-20, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, amending the commercial collection charges for the collection of garbage, trash, and solid waste material as set forth in Resolution 2008-19, providing for recycling services to commercial multifamily customers and establishing a charge for the same and providing for an effective date hereof. That's the reading of Resolution 2013-20 by title only. If a resolution is adopted this evening, the change in the rates would be effective October 1, 2013, with the start of the new fiscal year. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend the adoption of Resolution 2013-20.
I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? I don't know if you addressed, I mean, the one item is that we carried it for a year and found that we needed to increase it to make it self-sufficient, I guess. And the other thing is, what did you tell me today? This carries through the term of the contract, which is, what'd you say, 16, something like that?
Al might remember.
50, term of the contract?
2018,
8.
18.
Huh?
28.
2018, so it carries, so it would carry through the term of that, so. Motion and a second, no more discussion, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council, item 16, authorize removal of the handball, racquetball court at Canal Park. The removal of the handball court is to provide additional viewing and seating opportunities for major events at the BMX track, such as the Gator Nationals that is held in February or March of each year. The Leisure Services Advisory Board reviewed this and has also concurred with the removal of the court. We did put an aerial map in the packet as well. Basically, this would be the first step in the proposed expansion of the BMX track. So tonight I am requesting that you authorize the removal and demolition of the racquetball handball court.
Need a motion to approve authorization?
So moved.
Need a second?
You got it.
Authorization in a second. There goes your handball court days.
My handball court thing, I thought it was ridiculous when it was built.
Yeah. I did inquire about the usage because although I don't play handball, you just want to make sure that you're not taking something away from people that, that use
I
it.
can guarantee it. You're not.
But at any rate, so motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Passes 3-0.
As
Thank
most
you.
people don't even know what it is.
I know. 3-0. Thank you. Anything else?
I'm done this evening, thank you.
Thank you. City Clerk.
Oh, just one thing, a reminder that the Veterans Wall engraving is coming up, so if we could have applications in by the 15th, by September 15th for this year's review, that would be helpful.
Perfect. Good. Anything else?
That's it.
Good. Under City Council, we have our first item, which we discussed at the previous meeting, which is appoint charter review committees, or charter review committee that then will meet, and the city attorney will meet with them and discuss all the procedures. I've brought two names.
Hey, that's not fair.
I've got to flip a coin. That's
Should we save this for the next meeting? Because Janice doesn't get in all her names. She might
I think Ann has the names of Linda's and Janice's.
Okay, great.
And I guess we'll give you our names, and if they conflict, you can let us know, or do you want to tell us who they are? I mean, I guess it's okay to tell us who they picked.
Well, if we don't nominate them all, right? We only have 5, right? We're
Well-
only going to appoint 5 people, correct?
Well, I'm just saying so they don't conflict with anything that we may have picked, or we can tell you.
I gave mine to Ann via email.
Yeah, I think that
already.
was kind of what the council decided at the last meeting, to give the city clerk your nominee or
Okay.
recommendation.
I didn't
And
do that, I'm
So
sorry.
I don't know if she got all 5 or,
No, you don't have mine.
so,
Tell her. Or you can
Vicki
walk over.
Mills.
Vicki Mills.
Vicki Mills.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize we were going to email them to her, but I just made sure I brought mine. Frank Cicola is going to be mine. And does that conflict with anything else?
No, it does not.
Perfect, that's all we care about.
Now, I have a question. You want to vote on this first?
I guess we do need to, well, we don't know who they are.
you can appoint these 5 people tonight if you
I don't
want
know
to.
who they are, though. Well,
City clerk can tell you. I mean,
I gave her Ken Sidorowicz.
okay, and
Who was Linda's? and Jim?
Linda wanted Becky Alfonso, Janice Miller, Mark Opid, And of course, we have Vicki Nelson, Frank
Okay,
Chicago.
that's why I was asking if we want to know, so we kind of know who they all are. I'm fine with that group, if everybody else is. Do we?
We have them come to the next meeting, just so we can meet people we haven't met before? Or?
I mean, I know him.
I don't know if I know Linda's.
I think he's the head of the Historical Society.
No,
that's
Mark,
Janice.
I know
Oh,
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah.
What did you say?
If I don't know Mark, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But I don't know if I know. Linda's, you said, was Becky?
Becky Afonso, she's here tonight.
He's right there, if you'd like to.
Oh, okay, great. Well, that makes it easy.
Yeah.
And so we all know everybody else then.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's good. Hi, Becky.
Motion to approve?
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Now I have a
Easy.
question of the city attorney. Would it be possible for each council member to make a suggestion what they would possibly like to see in the charter review?
Sure. I mean, if you in a public meeting make that
I
suggestion,
make mine not right now.
then they can get the record of that meeting from,
Okay, I'll
but
give
you
you the
can't do
record
it
of mine.
outside of a public meeting.
In section 307, the forfeiture of office, if you miss 3 straight meetings, a council member, you're gone. If you miss 6 meetings in a year, you're gone. But it goes further that if you miss work sessions, it counts towards that. And I think that is wrong. I don't know how it ever got in there. I don't think work sessions should count. And I would like to see the work sessions taken out of that. The 3 straight meetings is fine. The 6 meetings in a year is fine. The work session should be taken out of that. That should not count towards you being tossed out. That's my recommendation.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that because when we do have our meetings, we talk about dates that work for us. So I don't really
yeah.
see people missing them too often.
No, and I don't either, but I mean, it's not, council is where you make the decisions and we vote on things, and the work set, they're difficult, you know, to make every one of them and to have that be your 6th one.
And you have a day job too.
And yeah, so, I mean, that's not our decision, that's the
Now,
charter reviews. I'll have to look over it.
Yeah, I'll have to look and.
now you two can have your own.
Hey, well, we like that too, but it's up to the charter review committee, you know.
And do we need to do that as well? Because I know you had some concerns, and I think even Ann might have. Your charter officials, so they would need to be the public
We're
forum.
going to go to one of their meetings, or maybe more than one. I mean, I guess the city clerk will be our
Liaison.
her designee will be there at all the meetings anyway, because they got to do the minutes. But I'm planning to go and attend at least one of their meetings, and I have a couple of things that I'm going to share with them.
And that's correct, that's another form that
Y'all
can be
can do
done.
the same thing, but
We're allowed to attend?
As long as the statements you make are on the record at the public meeting.
yeah, they're all public meetings too.
Okay,
And as long as you don't confer with each other prior to or following the meeting.
that sounds good.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay, that approved. The next item is approve the sign for the council chambers. This was actually Councilmember Beaverland's request. There is actually a picture, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, in your packet,
Page 92.
page 92. Have you seen it?
What color is it? I couldn't tell.
Is it black or dark
Black?
green, or do we know?
Lynn, we might have a couple of questions for
Yeah, I
you
had a
about the
couple.
sign.
Lynn
Color of the
Reeves, the
letters?
Services Director. The letters are the kind of the darkish color, the same as City Hall. That's up on the side of the City Hall building.
Is it dark,
Okay.
like a
They're
navy
black.
blue? They're black?
Yeah, they're black.
Okay. I guess the font kind of threw me off a little. I don't know, just because I thought maybe it would match more of,
It's a little stiff.
yeah, I don't know. It just, because it's such a historic building, I guess I would have liked to see,
I thought we were going to have silver or gold.
that might be hard to read though, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think
The font matches,
does it match? Okay.
yeah. That's what we were trying to get to, so it was the same.
I don't know if I necessarily would use that building as my
Template?
template for future, but I mean, I think the wording's fine, the size is great, because as we saw tonight, people can't find it. I don't know, I thought the font, just because it's such a historic,
What color?
well, not the color, but maybe just the
Font.
type of font or something, it just, I don't know. It probably, I don't think it would look exactly like that, right? I mean, it's gonna be exactly, I don't know.
Is it raised?
Yes.
Are they raised letters?
Yeah. If you walk out and look at this end of City Hall, Those letters are
They're the
up
exact
there.
same. Okay.
Same exact.
I mean, I know it seems like small potato, but it was
No,
just.
I kind of agreed with you, but the other side of it is, sometimes you get signs, they get a little too fancy and you can't really
read
read
them.
what they say. So, I mean, it says what it is, you know.
I haven't got it yet. What was the problem?
I just, yeah, the font, like
Which
the
is the
lettering.
way
I don't
the
know,
letter-
I guess I just thought
you
the
were saying
lettering.
the fog, the font.
Yeah, I just thought maybe it could look a little
Oh,
more
the font.
historic, or that was just, I know it seems like a small thing, but that was just my only, I guess, complaint I would say is, but other than that, I think it's fine.
It's doing what we kind of asked it to do. I mean, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with whatever y'all want.
And now, would it ever be possible to change? Is it going to be like engraved in there, or they're going to be just like stuck on? I mean, how's it going to be applied to it?
It's mounted
Okay.
to the,
So if we ever wanted to make a change, say in the
Right.
future, it's possible. Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It accomplished what he did. We found tonight that people are knocking on other doors and everything else, so.
Now, did anyone have any problem with it being on the far left of the wall and not centered, or you think that's fine because then
I
people can
think
see
the
from the
far
road?
left is better.
Because of the road.
I like because of the road.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree.
And actually, as you're coming from the east, you might even be able to catch it as opposed to if it was,
In the center.
design person recommended taking
That.
it to that side.
Okay, I agree.
okay. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Got it.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
I had a question. You know the size of the letters?
Oh, you did.
10
They're
inches,
10 inches.
and then 4 for the
The width.
lead.
Lead.
Okay, for
That's
the
what I
lead.
thought, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you told us that. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Passes 3-0.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Lynn.
I have a lot of heartburn with this next item.
I'm not going to vote yes.
Yeah,
Hey, I was wondering, does this count as a quorum since I technically would have to vote on it myself and it's for me?
yes.
Just
I
wondering.
like us, the city attorney. Yeah, you can. I think I didn't vote on mine, but we had a quorum.
Okay.
But let's approve the excused absence of Councilmember McGee. I think you have some work conference.
October 15th, I'm not able to attend because
Got
I
it.
will be
You
in
got a
California for
motion.
work. Thank you.
I need a second. I can't second. I need to remove myself and second.
Yeah, you need to pass the chair.
I'll pass the chair to, well, I got to pass it to you, I guess.
So I'll second.
No, I passed the mayorship chair to you.
Oh, my God.
You're the
Where's my
mayor.
gavel?
There.
The gavel, I'd want his chair.
Well, his chair's the same as mine, so I think I'll just take the gavel.
Go ahead. I passed the thing to you. You need a motion.
Did you, do I have a motion?
Uh-huh. What else you need?
I need a second.
Right, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Do you know what you just witnessed? You better be careful.
What is he up for reelection?
After the gavel, I can tell the way she handled it.
She went right for it, didn't she?
Wow.
Where's
you
the
got
gavel?
that right. Let me ask you a question. Should at this time, should we put for the next agenda to excuse?
Yeah, we can go ahead. We'll do that at the end. We
already
need to-
on there.
It's on there
For
for
Janice?
both of them? Yeah.
Well, I put it on there because I knew she missed that work session.
Okay.
So that's why it's on the agenda for the 18th. And
We just need to add
now
the-
it would just cover both meetings, I assume.
And Linda's as well. We can add that in
that's-
there. Or did we approve her?
That's exactly why you wanted to
That's
move
why the
it.
agenda shouldn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, workshop, you mean?
Yeah.
Workshop.
We know what you
meant.
Sorry.
We knew what you meant.
I do that a lot, don't I?
Yeah. The next item is consider removing charter officials from the pay plan. I think we've had some discussion about this particular item. Currently, our charter would be the city attorney who's not on the pay plan, and our city manager and the city clerk. So basically, we would be removing the city clerk and the city manager from the pay plan. All other aspects of the charter would still apply. It would just be the pay plan item. Easy for
That's
you
hard
to
to say,
say.
isn't it?
Pay plan item, yes. I guess a motion first
So moved.
and a second. And we have some discussion about it. Do you have any?
I thought maybe, or if Bruce wants to share.
If you would
some
like
of
to.
our
Yeah,
A
items,
couple of things I wanted to point out, that if the council approves this tonight, that's not a pay raise for anyone, the city clerk or myself. We can only receive a pay raise upon the vote and approval of the city council. I think in most cities, the charter officials are not part of the pay plan. And so if you approve it tonight, it doesn't change anyone's pay. It gives the council a little more flexibility in determining the pay of the charter officials going forward. We do have a formal review process that occurs once a year in November of each year. That would still be in place.
Okay. Would you like, it affects you? Do you have any input?
I'm for it.
I think it's, I think it's good. We have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? Jerry? Gabby?
Nope.
Anything? Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Thank you. I must have been hungry when I saw this agenda. Comments by council, and I have lunch written there, so I'm not sure what that means, but we'll start with Mr. Beaverland.
The, number one, the fire truck sets out here, our new fire truck. And I think our fire chief is proud of it. It's incredible. It's one of a kind because it's here.
Yeah.
It's great. And the fireworks were incredible,
They were
but I
amazing.
watched them from away from the mud. I'll just have to tell you all that. I wasn't going
The
down.
grass was pretty wet, yeah.
Down there. They were great, so congratulations again. I don't know how successful it was with everything else, but it was rainy. I mean, it had to be soggy down there. It was great. But anyway, congratulations, because the fireworks were great. I think they were better than the last 2 years, I think. And I wish Janice well. I hope she gets. We love you, Janice. I know you're going to watch this, so we do love y'all. And thank you for who you are.
Thank you. Gabby?
I had a few things. Yes, I do hope Janice is better, and Linda as well with her family emergency. I wanted to congratulate Kathy on her son's engagement over the holiday weekend. It was really exciting for her, and beautiful ring and beautiful place. So just congratulations again. I agree with Jerry. Fireworks were amazing. I could see them. I had a conflict, but I could see them from my house. So they were beautiful. And also, I have to thank Janice just for helping me get involved. But with the Florida League of Cities, I was recently appointed to the Growth Management and Economic Development Committee. So that was one of my first choices. So now I'll be a part of that committee with the league. And lastly, I know I sent you all an email, but just for anyone that's watching, if you haven't heard yet, Gander Mountain, competitor of Bass Pro Shops, is actually moving in, not to Oldsmar, but just outside the border on Hillsborough in the old Best Buy. So right there in the Super Target Plaza. That's great news that Best Buy's been closed for a while. And Bass Pro Shops is opening in Brandon, which is quite a drive for our residents, and to have one of their competitors be that close, I think it's great. It's going to be some, great for our fishing community and outdoor enthusiasts, kayaks, everything. They have hiking stuff. So just another positive from the economic development standpoint for our residents. So that's all I have.
Awesome. The fireworks, also Janice and Linda as well. Our thoughts are with both of you, and we know neither one of them like missing meetings, that's for sure. The fireworks were great. I actually, Chief O'Neill and I got a good experience down there. We got to go down and actually stand by the fireworks. And first we got to watch how they hook them up. And I told Bruce, and it was kind of like Duck Dynasty meets fireworks down there at the end, the way they
shooting them off.
The way that, I refuse to say, and then we actually got to go down there and stand while and they literally push every button that's out there, and they fire them, and they wouldn't let me push a button I wanted to, but they wouldn't. And Chief and I both knew we were going over the side if something went bad. But I heard that, I think he told me this is their 23rd year doing it with us. Is that right? Yeah. And I think he still had all his digits. So, it's neat. It's amazing, the technology. And one of the things that when I was out there and talking to him, and then talking to some of the spectators, both in the years past, I think what makes it so neat is that they do push all the buttons. It's not automated. They feel the feel of the fireworks and the music, and if it needs an extra 10-second pause, they pause it. And because I said, how long is this? He goes, it can be anywhere from 19 to 23 minutes, just depending on, how the wind, how high they need to go, and stuff like that. And then standing down there at the end was really cool. The national anthem was terrible. I don't know who sang that thing, but.
This was their what year?
23rd year.
Here?
Yeah, I think so, right?
No.
Well, I've been doing it maybe it's 23 years they've been doing it. So But,
It's 16 years here.
yeah, if you heard howling at your house since you weren't there, it was me singing the
I
national
think they
anthem.
started in
Who
97.
signed you up for that?
I did. I said, when they finished playing, and I'm like, we need the national
I
anthem.
wouldn't even sign myself up for that.
So I
think
grabbed two
got
guys
a
from the
better
band. I didn't know if they could sing, and we did it. I have no idea how it sounded. I
voice.
could,
Because beer and wine was now for sale.
nothing to do. I was excited about the fireworks, so. Huh?
That sounded pretty good.
Freedom Fest was much better, let's just say that. You did all know the words.
That was the harmonica player. I did get a harmonica out
But
of
if
it.
you're
so-
going to have music during the fireworks, have a little lower. I got a complaint on that. The music was pretty
It was
loud.
tough. You know, all things considered, I went by there at probably 11 or 12 o'clock, and I thought, okay, it's going to dry out. We're home. It's my fault. I went home and washed and waxed my car. And as I'm pulling out of the neighborhood, I look, and that cloud was literally right over the park. So, you know, all things considered, people still had a good time. They found places to sit. And so other than that, I don't really, I don't have anything else. I don't think. I would like to say that, I hope we do consider, I know we have a mentoring program. You know, if it works out that, I know logistically for Carwise and Eastlake, it's tough, but if we can work into Safety Harbor Middle and Countryside, you know, that's fine. Everybody needs mentoring, and a lot of our staff may have kids that go to those schools as well. So hopefully we can work that into it. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Anybody else have anything? City Attorney, you got anything?
Nothing.
No? No comments? Bruce?
All done.
All done?
What about Kathy?
Kathy, you got anything? Congratulations.
Made it over there.
Yeah, that was great.
She's so happy.
That's awesome. They're having 2 weddings, is that right? Two ceremonies, so that's
Awesome.
That's good. Seeing nothing else, I need a motion to approve the tentative agenda.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.